Hey there, everybody.
Good morning.
We are here in Southampton, and we are going to be taking off on our cruise here this afternoon.
It's cruise day.
It's cruise day. So we decided to get in a day early here in Southampton. And
with the jet lag.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't get any footage yesterday. We were pretty exhausted, but we are staying here. Right behind us is the Leonardo Royal Grand Harbor Hotel. It is directly across from the Loco up there, which is an IHG property, and the cruise harbor. Our ship is just on the other side of that building, so we'll be getting aboard here soon. We're gonna go ahead and go inside, kind of check out this hotel. So as you can see, the Leonardo Hotel has a lot going for it, and wanted to show you how close it was to where our cruise ship was docked.
Yeah, we wanted to, we thought we might be able to walk there, but we weren't completely sure. So we did check with the concierge person when we were at the hotel and asked, is it okay? Because sometimes when you get to those gated cruise ports, you don't know if you can just walk through or whatever.
Yeah, sometimes they've got a security officer there and they require a licensed person to get you there.
Anyway, so we said, yeah, just walk around. So on the map you can see it was, I think, 0.4 miles.
Yep.
But we went ahead and actually just kind of cut through the parking lot of the Voco Hotel and cut a little bit off of it. My mom was with us, and she's 78 and walks fine, but does get a little out of breath once in a while. And this was of no issue for her. It's very flat, very easy. You just walk across the street, and we even rolled our luggage and made it to the terminal. No problems.
So if you like to play Frogger, no, it wasn't that bad. But yeah, we actually just cut across the parking lot of that Voco Hotel.
Yeah, we crossed the street through the parking lot and hooked
so I'm not sure if they like it or not. But as you can see here, it's a beautiful little port access, easily walking right up to the gates there. And then I took a photo back once we got through that gate right before we got into the building of, you can see the Voco Hotel and our hotel there. And then, yeah, once we got on board, that's up above the, on the top of the cruise ship, kind of pointing at the hotel.
The hotel is.
Yeah.
So that was a wonderful aspect of staying so close to the port. We didn't have to spend money on taxis. Other nice things on the location, it was really close to the, I don't know if I'm saying this right, West Quay?
The Quay, yeah, shopping center. Yep.
Really big shopping center, a lot of food locations around there, as well as picking up things if you forgot anything last minute for your cruise that you wanted to go and pick up.
I think we got a movie theater in there, so if you want to blow off some steam or, you know, fill up some time while you're a little bored or tired.
Yeah, so we're able to walk to dinner in town.
Yep.
But yeah, if you're looking for a stay in Southampton pre or post cruise, I think the Leonardo might fit the bill.
Yeah, well, let's get into that review. We just started our review process. We did our first review of the Asmara Onward, and if you want to see that review, I'll put a link in. But I'm going to stick with an Ahoy theme and just transition that to hotels. So Ahoy will do setup for A being accommodations, H being hospitality, O being offering, so what are they doing? Do they have food? Do they have a spa, etc.? And then the Y being yield. How much does it cost? And do we think it's worth it? So moving on to that, the accommodations of the Leonardo Royal Hotel Grand Harbor. What did you think of the rooms and the overall, the venue?
The venue. It's got a lot of things going for it. The outside, when you see it, it's very striking. You got like almost that pyramid glass going on. And when you're inside the hotel, that is the main dining room area. So that's a lot of natural light in there. And also the pool and hot tub area are contained within that pyramid of glass. And so that is nice. It's very inviting, bright, adds a lot. The hotel inside, as you can see, is pretty dark, but a lot of nice dark wood. It was very comfortable. There's a fireplace going. We were there in June, but it was still a little Southampton fog going on, especially in the morning.
Yeah, honestly, the outside of the hotel, very striking, very welcoming. Lots of glass. I think that might be necessary in the gloom. The room itself, as you saw in the room, I really thought the decorations were beautiful. That wallpaper was nice. It was really clean in the room. The bathroom was a really good size. We shared a room with your mom, so had the two full beds. And yeah, overall, I thought it was good. One point we're going to get into the offerings, and they do have a hot tub pool area. There is some maintenance issues in the hot tub area. I'm going to do that about accommodations. Offerings. Thank you. And some cracked tiles, little grout issues.
And the glass on some of that pyramid-shaped glass out front. The windows were very dirty. They definitely needed a cleaning. And then there were a couple of broken ones that had been patched but needed to be replaced. So I think overall the accommodations were very nice, but there were a few maintenance issues.
Yeah, dinks and all. And we'll get to our ratings here in a little bit. Next, let's talk about hospitality.
Overall, it was good. I don't want to say anything bad about it. It was just, we were very tired when we arrived on the first day. Obviously, we just had an overnight flight from the United States to London, and then we had hired a private car transfer down. And we were there a little early because I think our flight came in at 9. So we were there just before lunchtime. I'm going to say 11:30, 11:45. Check-in process was very smooth, but we couldn't check into our room until 4 p.m. And so that left a lot of time. And yes, we were able to leave our luggage there. That wasn't a problem. But my mom didn't want to do a lot of walking around. She was tired. We were tired. They did have a nice restaurant there, so we did go and sit there, but it was kind of a slow time for them. There wasn't anybody really in the restaurant when we were there.
We kind of had to go ask people, hey, can we get some lunch? And it's not necessarily them. I think it's that time of day when they're not expecting anyone to be there. So I don't think there was staffing
there
maybe.
Was some, one person walking in and out and stuff like that. We just had to go up to the bar and ask if we could get menus, if they were serving lunch. And then they, came and took our order, and the food was good and all that. And then same thing, we were, again, like, what are we going to do at this point? We sat in the restaurant for, I don't know, a couple hours.
Yeah, it was still early, and you did go ask to see if we could check in early. At first they were saying your room's not ready. Not a problem. That's when we got to do lunch. But after lunch, taking our sweet time, you went and asked if we could check in early.
Well, I asked if we could at least use the pool or go sit by the pool in a lounge chair, because we kind of wanted to lounge, lay back a little bit. And I didn't think they'd appreciate us laying across the benches in the restaurant. So I just wanted to lay in a lounge chair, like if I couldn't get into the room, what could we do? And they said no, we had to be checked in because you need a room key and all that in order to get into the pool, which I was like, well, can I just have my room key? Anyway. Then he said he wanted to check on our reservation, checked it and said we did have rooms available that would meet our reservation. It was 10 euros an hour to check in early. And at this point it was like 2 and check-in time was 4. He did end up only charging us 10 euros instead of the 20 and let us go in. So that was nice. It was very welcomed. So we went up to the room and we went down to the pool.
Yep.
And my mom stayed up in the room to lay down for a little while. So that was nice.
We don't have any videos of the pool or the gym area, so we've got some stock photos there. They didn't allow cameras in there, which is, perfectly acceptable and reasonable in my book. But we were able to use that. I think everyone was extremely nice and friendly and helpful. I think we just had to
initiate a little bit.
Initiate rather than them being over the top there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right. So offerings. So do they have a restaurant? Do they have a gym? Do they have a spa, etc.? Yes. And yes. They seem to have everything.
Yeah, they had a full service spa if you actually wanted to get treatments and all of that, but they had a very nice large indoor in that atrium pool and hot tub. With a lot of area around it. There were people swimming laps, so it was a very large pool for that kind of purpose.
Really pretty.
Yeah, we just kind of wanted to sit in the hot tub for a bit and
lounge.
take a little break in the pool, lounge, and all of that, and that was perfect there. So they did have a spa, and they did have a hot tub and a pool. They do have a gym. They have that restaurant. Obviously, we went there for that. And
Yep.
the next morning, we booked the package or the price that included breakfast. So 3 of us had a full buffet breakfast in the morning, and it
you
was
saw
very
that.
nice.
Yeah, you saw that earlier, and that was towards the end of that breakfast buffet, and so that had been picked through at that point, and I had already eaten, and I'm gonna let you know it was tasty, and there was a lot of people in using that earlier in the day for sure. So
A big convention in town, and a lot of them were staying at the Leonardo, so there was a lot of people for that breakfast buffet.
most definitely. So that gets down to yield for us and overall value. So with that, we spent, how much was it?
I think it was about $430 US.
Okay, 430. Then we spent an extra 10 to get early access. So let's get into the ratings here. So we've already talked about accommodations. With those accommodations, absolutely great location, very nicely done. With some maintenance issues, we scored that a
8.5.
8.5. I'm sure there's more beautiful hotels, and we wanted to leave room to, hey, if something's like the Ritz-Carlton outstanding, that's a 10. This is really nice, way above a lot of hotels that I've stayed in. So I think 8.5, pretty strong score on accommodations.
Yes.
All right, hospitality, them being super nice and attentive, but us having to initiate. We rated that
An 8.
8. Yep.
Again, very good score.
Yep. Good, good. Moving on to offerings. So they had a decent restaurant, pretty darn good. They had that spa we didn't use, but we used the hot tub, the pool. They had the gym. I didn't feel like working out after that, but we rated that
A 9.
Yep. They had everything that you might need.
And the location, I don't know if that's in the offerings or if in the accommodations, but the
Yeah.
location was very good.
Yep. I thought it was really good. So 9. And then yield being overall value. And with that price and what they offered to have 3 of us, we got that.
I said that was about an 8.5.
8.5. Sounds good. So you add all 4 of those up, divide it by 4, and overall score of an 8.5. We would definitely recommend Leonardo Hotel for the Grand Harbor in Southampton, especially if you're going to be doing a cruise. That location with proximity to that cruise terminal. If you do, so I think some of the bigger ships, you've got to go down to the Queen Mary port. You'd have to do a taxi, but right near us was the Regent Seven Seas. Silver Sea was right next to us. So perhaps, especially with those smaller cruise ships, this could be amazing. The Voco, I'm interested in trying that one too, because it's across the street. I wouldn't have to play Frogger.
We did look at the Voco. They didn't have any rooms for 3.
Yep.
And they had more 2 twin beds even. They didn't.
Yeah, they call it 2 singles. Yeah.
And I don't think they had a pool.
Nope.
And things like that. Not that we're comparing the hotels. We didn't stay there, so we don't really know. But that's why we chose the one we did.
Different cruise, different experience. I might very well try Voco, and that way we can bring that information to you too. All right. So if you found this helpful, you like this content at all, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps us bring more content like this to you, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, if you have any comments about places you stayed you really liked, let us know. Maybe next time we'll try something new.
Cheers. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.